So this is a question I get asked all the time from my friends and family, and it's probably a question you're asking too. Is Revolut a bank? And it's a pretty important question. If you're thinking about switching to Revolut as your main bank account, or you're considering moving a lot of money into your Revolut account, I think it's fair to ask, is it a bank? But Revolut doesn't do a great job at answering this question. In fact, over the years, I think they've been pretty happy to blur the line around what their business is and isn't, because the answer maybe is a little bit embarrassing and a bit of a mess. Let me explain. Hey guys, Oliver Smith here. If this is your first video of mine you've seen, make sure you hit subscribe below, because I'm putting out all sorts of videos on fintech and covering what it's like being a customer of brands like Monzo, Starling, and today, Revolut. First of all, to understand whether Revolut is a bank, it's important to understand why being a bank is important. In most countries, a bank is a special type of business that has a banking license. A banking license is important because it brings with it two superpowers. The first is the most interesting and probably the reason why you're asking this question: deposit protection. In the UK, up to £85,000 of your money is safe if it's in a bank. It's protected by something called FSCS. You might have seen the logo around. The Financial Services Compensation Scheme means that if your money is in a bank that fails, the government will step in to give you your money back, normally within just a few days. In Europe, deposits are covered up to €100,000 under something similar called the Deposit Guarantee Scheme. That's pretty important when you're thinking about where to put your life savings or your salary, but you're not going to find the FSCS logo on Revolut's website. The second superpower is the ability to lend against deposits. Now, this might not be important for you, but it's crucial for banks because it means that, subject to certain limits, banks can extend loans to some customers based on the deposits of others. I'm not going to get into fractional reserve banking, but there are loads of great YouTube videos out there explaining how it all works. I'll put some links in the description below if you want a deep dive. So what is Revolut's banking license situation? Well, Revolut has not one, but two banking licenses, one in Lithuania and one in Australia. Now, because Lithuania is part of the EU, Revolut's Lithuanian license actually covers the whole of Europe, but Revolut doesn't operate under its Lithuanian license in most EU countries. In fact, today Revolut only operates as a bank in these 12 European countries. Now, to make matters even more confusing, not every Revolut account in these countries is with Revolut the bank. Many will still be with Revolut the non-bank because the company is still in the process of moving its millions of customers across. What about if you're in the rest of Europe or the UK? Well, Revolut probably isn't operating as a bank where you are, but you're not completely out of luck. There is a workaround to offer bank-like deposit protection to customers even when you're not licensed as a bank. In the UK, when you put your money into Revolut, it actually ends up with one of Revolut's partner banks. That's Lloyds or Barclays. Not a fact that Revolut shouts about, but because your money is ultimately held in an FSCS protected bank account, the theory is that should Revolut ever disappear, your money would be safe. I say theory because while your money would be safe, it could take longer than 7 days or even quite a while for you to get access to it. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can see exactly how Revolut describes this safeguarding setup. Now, this setup isn't ideal, and it might not reassure you if you're thinking about making a big financial decision. So Revolut is also working on securing its own UK and US banking licenses. This would obviously help people who are on the fence about switching. And Revolut's CEO has said that he expects half of their customers will fully switch once they have that banking license. Plus, with 15 million customers, as Revolut continues to grow, lending will undoubtedly become a big part of its business. And that brings me back to that second banking license superpower. In order to offer competitive loans in the future, Revolut is gonna have to reduce the cost of its capital, hence needing a banking license so that it can start lending against deposits. But getting a banking license isn't gonna be easy. Even for a normal bank in the UK, that process could take a year or more. It took Monzo 2 years, but things have sped up, and now 20 months seems to be about average. Revolut isn't a normal bank, however. It offers crypto trading, share trading, insurance, business accounts, premium subscriptions. You can even buy gold and silver through the app. This is a very complex business, which the regulator is going to inspect closely. And given its application only just started in January 2021, you might have to wait quite a while before Revolut becomes a bank in the UK. But should Revolut's banking license worry you? Should it stop you from switching or depositing your salary? Well, on its own, not really. Because of the safeguarding that happens, your money is always going to end up in a bank account, whether that's Revolut's account in those European countries or Lloyds and Barclays in the UK. There has been a fair amount of controversy around Revolut over the years, as there has been with many banks and fintechs. This video isn't a review of Revolut, and I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't trust them with your money. But I wanted to do a good job at answering the question that Revolut would prefer you didn't ask. Not until they have a banking license in your country anyway. But I'd love to hear what you think. Do you bank with Revolut? Have you made the switch? Or does its lack of a banking license put you off? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Revolut doesn't have a banking license, neither does Moneys, but Monzo and Starling both have banking licenses in the UK. N26 operates under a banking license across Europe, but not in the UK because they left after Brexit. It's all pretty confusing. Also, people keep telling me to put my glow-in-the-dark Revolut card back in the sun for longer. I did, it still doesn't glow.